Welcome back to Sunday Mobility with me, Liz. We're going to work on spine mobility today with a bit of shoulders and hips as well. So let's get started with foam rolling to just wake ourselves up a little bit. So grab whatever foam roller you have and just start with just an easy massaging of your back up and down. I like to put my hands behind my head and spread my shoulder blades wide so that I can get into those muscles between the shoulder blades. You can roll as far up and down as you'd like. If it hurts, just don't go quite that far. And just check in with your breathing. So are you able to just relax and ease into the roll so that as you move your body over the roll, let yourself really sink over the curve of the foam roller. Each pass, think of getting a little bit deeper into the muscles. And perhaps you're noticing that one chunk is a little bit stiffer. Feel free to just hone in on that smaller section. All right, next up, just rotate your body about 20, 30 degrees so you're off your spine. And now just roll on one side of your ribs. Getting those muscles that are beside your spine that tend to be pretty stiff at times. Keep on breathing and trying to sink against the roll. All right, other side. Roll over to side two and keep rolling up and down. Again, the distance that you travel is up to you and your comfort level. If it hurts, don't go there. It should be comfortable, relaxing, and quite pleasant. One last roll. All right, let's continue traveling around the rib cage. You come to your side. You can roll from your armpit down towards your waist. I'm using my feet primarily to propel me back and forth. Now start directly on your side, but feel free to just slightly lean forward, slightly lean back to get different parts of the contours of your rib cage. If you find a rib that's particularly stiff, pause there, breathe, and then roll forward and back along that rib. All right, next let's get up into your armpit. So roll right into the crook of your armpit. And again, if you roll backwards a little bit, you're going to be more on the lats, getting into that rotator cuff just a little bit. And see how that feels. Just roll through there. You might dislike the rolling. You could also pause and just sink into the roll and breathe. And sometimes I like to reach and stretch my lats in this position. So the lats are pinned on the roll. So I reach, I'm getting a very targeted stretch just on the shoulder portion of my lats. Give me one last breath or reach or whatever you're doing. Let's go over to side two. All right, here we go. Rolling through the sides of your ribs. So start at the midline and then move around from there. Either rock your body a little bit forward or a little bit back. My best spots are always a little bit to the back. And if you find that sticky rib, just pause on there, take a breath, and then maybe rock forward and back. All right, let's keep moving up and down, and then we'll end up back into your lats by your armpit. Ooh. And again, these are best found if you rock back, so you get onto that big meaty chunk, the back of the armpit. And just rock and relax. You can always just pause and breathe if you'd prefer. And then my favorite add-on is the pin and reach. So I'm pinning my lats between the foam roller and the body weight of my shoulder, and getting a very targeted stretch of my lats here. A little bit of rotator cuff. 3 more. 2 and 1. Whew. Okay, put the foam roll aside. Please toss it. Okay, let's do a couple of slow articulated bridges. I'm gonna set my feet about hip width apart, press my arms and shoulder blades against the floor, press the hips up to the ceiling. From here, feel your feet planted firmly on the ground, and slightly hug your knees towards the center, like you're holding maybe a softball between your knees. Next, imagine lengthening your thighs. So your knees are going to stretch a little bit farther than they are currently. Next, starting at the top of your spine, maybe like where your heart is. Sink down through your rib cage and lower yourself to the floor one bone at a time. So the pelvis is lifting until it's turn to come to the ground. Once you get completely to the floor, press up again. Give a little squeeze of your inner thighs. Lengthen your knees away. Articulate back down. One bone at a time. Notice if you were able to keep your shoulders relaxed on the ground, did they want to roll forward? Let's think about that this time. Lift up again. Inner thigh squeeze. Long thighs. Widen your collarbone. And you keep that wide collarbone with your shoulders connected to the floor as you roll down this time. See, one more time. Press the hips up, inner thighs, lengthen your thighs, wide collarbone. On this one, focus on finding maximum space between each bone in your back. Lower the upper back, lengthen the next bone, lengthen, place the next bone, lengthen, place the next bone, continue all the way down. All right, let's stretch those legs out nice and long. Flex your feet. You can adjust as you need. I want you to keep your shoulders fairly pressed into the floor so you feel grounded. Focus on one heel. Lengthen it longer with a really actively flexed foot. Lengthen that leg. Start to lift it up. Notice when your hamstring starts to feel a little bit tight. And just pause and feel that tension. And then come back down. Other side, lengthen your heel away, lift. Notice if your knee wants to bend and just stop before that happens. I want to keep that knee perfectly straight. And then come back down. Other side, lengthen, reach, lift your leg up to whatever height it can go while remaining straight. You should feel a lot of tension in the back of your leg. Open your arms to a T. Cross that leg across your body. It's going to continue lengthening and look back behind you to your back arm. Pause and breathe. Now the hip that's on top, lengthen that hip downwards away from your ribs. If you haven't already, find your foot on the floor. And in my case, my shoulder popped off the ground. Maybe you're more flexible or longer limbed than I am and you can do both at the same time. But if you're like me, my foot's now on the floor, my shoulder's off the ground. I'm going to try to get that shoulder blade back to the floor. So I'm going to seesaw back and forth, tapping my foot to the floor, tapping my shoulder to the floor, just going back and forth. Try to make a little extra twist, a little more flexibility progress each time I rock. Sort of like a yawny stretch. The legs gonna yawn, and the arm and shoulder are gonna yawn to create more of a twist, more of a stretch through my body. Meanwhile, check back in with your pelvis, your hip. Keep it lengthening away from your ribs. That should give you a little more stretch into your lower back. Those muscles tend to get stiff when we don't have good deep breathing patterns, when you're sitting upright with a lot of tension. Maybe you've lifted a lot of weights that are at your upper range. Ooh, and they've been doing their job of supporting you, but now it's time for them to relax and stretch. All right, pause at your best stretch that feels good. Give me 3 slow, deep breaths. One more time. And then let your leg just float to the floor and relax. Call this a starfish. Just relax in your starfish. Do you feel like that side that you were stretching is any more relaxed, lengthened, and at one with the floor compared to the other side? I think I grew an inch on that side. Let's go to side 2. So we're going to start by lengthening your leg. Lengthen it crazy long as you lift it up. Keep your knees straight. Wherever that range of motion ends for you, that's where you stop. Rotate that leg across your body. Keep your back shoulder on the ground for now. And just focus on lengthening that leg. Breathe. Look back to the back arm. How does this side feel? Can you lengthen your hip away from your ribs any farther? All right, let's go to that big yawny stretch. Let the leg lead. So lower the foot to the floor if it isn't already. And perhaps you're like me, my shoulder is now off the ground. Let's seesaw back and forth. So shoulder goes back towards the floor. Then the foot pulls me back the other way. Shoulder to the floor. And then the foot wins. This entire time, keep your eyes back towards the back arm to encourage your spine to twist all the way through your neck. Your head is going to follow your eyes, your neck's going to follow your head, and even your upper back is going to follow your head. Do 3 more big seesaws back and forth. Check in with that top hip again. Is your hip lengthened maximally away from your ribs? All right, hold this last stretch. Foot on the floor, shoulder as far back as possible. Hold for 3 breaths. Good. Now keep your leg heavy. Just let it trace along the ground and return to the floor. Take a deep breath. Do you feel more even now? Okay. Let's pull your knees into your chest. You can just take some gentle rocks side to side. Think of like lengthening your lower back, letting your tailbone curl up a bit. All right, I'm going to do a little more active work with your core to use that rotation that we just created. So squeeze your inner thighs together And place the heels of your hands just above your knees. Now imagine that you want your legs to grow out of your hips. So just gently press upwards against the ends of your thighs with the idea of lengthening your hips. But what you should feel is your core just naturally, gently engaging. This is an easy to medium amount of pressure, so don't kill yourself here. We just want to find the abs engaging. As you pull your abs in, feel your lower back sinking and settling against the ground. Can you breathe into your lower back? As you inhale, can you feel an increase in pressure of your lower back into the floor? All right, you want to keep those abs engaged, keep your inner thighs strong, open your arms back to a T. Lengthen your legs to a tabletop so you have 90-degree angles in your hips and your knees. Okay, now focus on your shoulders for a moment. Keep both shoulders pressed firmly into the ground. Your upper body is now your anchor. Rotate your knees away from you and create a spine twist. You can certainly look the opposite direction to continue twisting into your upper back, but keep both shoulders on the floor. Exhale, return to the center. Inhale, twist the other way. Press your shoulders into the floor. Exhale, use your abs to pull you back up. Keep going side to side. Inhale, twist. Exhale, center. Inhale, twist. Exhale, center. Go as far as you can control, meaning good quality, keeping your shoulders on the floor, keeping your abs engaged. And last one. Let's go to a figure 4 stretch. I'm going to cross my left ankle over my right knee, flexing both feet. Grab your thigh by threading your arms through the center and around the side of your right knee, and pull your knee into your chest. As you pull your knee in, allow your lower back to lengthen. Then, while continuing to pull your knee in, press your tailbone down into the floor. Almost like you're trying to stick your butt through the ground. This should hopefully give you a deeper glute stretch here. All right, progressing from here, the leg that's on top, cross it over the bottom leg so that your knees are stacked up. We go into a big twist again. So I'm going to keep my legs super crossed and rotate to the right. So my left leg was on top, I'm rotating to the right. Hopefully you feel a nice deep stretch into your lower back. It's a little bit different than before. Maybe more into your ribs, maybe more into the hip. All right, come on back up. Whew, shake it out. Side 2, figure 4 stretch. Right ankle over the left knee. Thread the arms around your left knee and pull to your chest. As you pull, initially allow your lower back to lengthen. Maybe your tailbone curves upwards. And then tailbone to the floor. Press your pelvis through the ground. One more good breath here. All right, let's do that twisted stretch. Cross your top knee over the bottom knee. I'm thinking of pulling my legs towards each other a bit versus having a big wide cross leg sit, more of a narrow sit. And then twist the legs over to the left. My right leg goes on top. I'm twisting to the left. Look back behind you. Breathe into the stretch. Notice if you feel this one differently or the same. Is it in your lower back, your ribs and upper back, perhaps your hip or thigh? Come back to the middle. Pull those knees in, relax, get yourself comfortable again. All right, let's go back to the hands on the thighs, pushing up into the knees. Find your core again. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Create a lot of tension in your abs here so that your lower half is solid. You're going to have a strong lower half and an easy upper half. Just reach up to the ceiling. And this should feel pretty gentle on your upper half. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, return to the ceiling. Keep going. Inhale back. Exhale up. Use this movement to bring body awareness to your shoulders, your arms, and your neck. How far back can you reach effortlessly without any tension, restriction? Can you go all the way to the ground? Or do you need to stop a little bit before the floor? Just stop wherever you feel your range of motion stops being comfortable. And as you do this, are you able to keep your ribs perfectly planted onto the ground? There's a point that your back needs to arch. That's where I want you to stop, just shy of that. Are your arms moving symmetrically? Is one a little bit stiffer than the other? One last time. All right, press your arms by the ground, shoulder blades into the floor, legs to the ceiling. I want you to really focus now on grounding through your shoulders and then try to touch your toes to the ceiling, going straight up and back down. As you do this movement up and down, working the lower abs, can you keep your shoulder blades wide? The tendency is for the shoulder blades to curl in on this movement. Can you resist that and push back instead? Do 3 more, 2, and 1. Whew. Rock on up. All right, you should feel like your lower half is pretty grounded. And sitting, let's just reach up again. Likely feels a whole lot easier than lying on the floor with your abs engaged. Do a couple shoulder rolls. 3 more, 2, 1. Lift your shoulders up, take them back, glide them down. Keep them down. Next with your head. Take your head straight back, like a little bit of a double chin, and tip your head over to one side. Keep your head over to the side and rotate your nose downwards. Come back to the side. Drop your head back and rotate your nose upwards. Let's go back and forth a couple times just to get that side of your neck nice and stretched out. One more time, forward and back. Once you get back to the side, return center. Shake it out. Let's reset the shoulders. Shoulders up, back, down. Tuck that chin in, a little bit of a double chin. Tip your head over to the side. Nod forward, side, nod back, rotating up to the ceiling. Keep going forward and back. Forward and back. Return to the side and then come all the way up. Woo. Roll those shoulders out pretty easy. All right, reach those arms up again. Does that make it any easier? If so, you know that your neck is hindering your shoulders. If your shoulders are living up by your ears, you're not going to lift your shoulders well. Okay, take a quick twist. So take your arms and walk around your body. Look behind you. Pause there. Hold this twist and breathe. On the inhales, focus on growing taller through your spine. On the exhales, look farther with your eyes. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, look farther. One more time. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, twist farther. Hold this final twist. And as you exhale, think of pulling your core into your spine, like you're trying to make your entire self skinnier. And can you hold this position without your hands? And slowly unwind. Whew. Side two. Use your hands to help you. Just walk around your body. Look behind you. Once you find an easy twist, pause there. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, twist, look farther. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, twist farther. Look as far as you can behind you. Pause here. On your next exhale, focus on really pulling your core into your spine, a full 360, like a corseting type feeling. Let go, and then unwind. Whew. Now switch your legs to a mermaid sit. So both feet onto one side and grab a hold of your top ankle with your hand. Now with your spine, we tend to want to arch forward, but hollow it in so that your ribs are really back over your pelvis. I'm going to stretch the side of your body. Reach up, lengthen up, keeping that hollow core. Glue your arm to your ear so your shoulders really lifted up. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bend over. Hopefully you feel everything on the side of your body lengthening. Inhale, lift. Exhale, over. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, over. Pause in your stretch. And let's find a variation that works best for you. Maybe it's right where you are, but try rotating down and then come back to the side. Try rotating up. Which one is the stretchiest for you? Mine is a little bit up. Wherever that is, pause and take one more deep breath. Add a little more reach, and then come all the way back up. Whew. Side two. Swing your legs over, grab that top ankle. Hollow your core, ribs back over your pelvis. Reach up. Step one, stretch that arm, glue your bicep to your ear. Lengthen up to the ceiling, inhale. Exhale, side bend over. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, side bend over. One more, inhale up. Exhale, side bend. Pause here. Let's find the best stretch. Feel how it feels on the side. Next, rotate forward. Rotate back. Find your best spot. Pause for one more breath. And give me one more last reach through your arm, through your fingertips. Come all the way back up. Whew. All right, let's do another spine twist with the foam roll. If you don't have a foam roller, you can just slide your hand on the floor. But the foam roller is just a nice way to ease into the stretch at a more comfortable height as well. Okay, so starting from all fours, put the foam roll beside you. Take your hand and thread it underneath you. Now, once you thread, you can soften your elbow to get lower to the floor and reach as far as you can to push the foam roll away. But really, the purpose is to twist your spine upwards towards the ceiling. So focus on the length of your spine and your spine twisting. All right, unthread. Again, focus on your chest. Rotate your chest to the side wall of your room and then keep twisting it up towards the ceiling. Once you've twisted as far as you can, let's check in on a couple things. Bottom shoulder, can you lower it away from your ear? Your spine, is it nice and long? And then from there, take your top shoulder, roll it back, and if your shoulder is happy about this, reach up to the ceiling. Keep rolling your shoulder blade back farther to open your chest even more. Good. Reverse. Let's thread under again. Push the foam roll away. Focus on rotating your chest towards the ceiling. At your end range, pause and breathe. And then reverse. Push the floor away, shoulder away from your ear. Rotate your chest to the sidewall and continue to the ceiling. Lastly, lengthen your arm. The arm is almost an afterthought and it's to help you stretch farther. It should not be primarily a back of the shoulder pinchy type feeling. All right, one more time. Thread under. Push the roll away. And then reverse. Push the ground away. Rotate your chest to the ceiling. Lengthen your arm. Keep opening your chest upwards to the sky. All right, side two. Get ready for thread the needle on the other side. Push the ground away. Long, strong spine. Thread your arm under. You can soften that elbow to help you get low to the ground. Focus on a long twist through your spine. You shouldn't have any side bends through your spine. It should just be twisted on the axis. And come back through. Push the floor away with your shoulder away from your ear. Rotate your chest to the ceiling and extend your arm. Avoid any pinchy feelings in that shoulder. And then thread under again. Reach and push. Find that last bit of stretch and then pause for a breath. Good. Reverse. Push the floor away, shoulder down. Rotate your chest to the ceiling. Extend your arm. You can keep rolling your shoulder blade back to help you get more twist. Is your spine long? Is every part of your spine twisting? Good. One more time. Thread under. Push that roll away. And then reverse. Pull through. Rotate up. Open that chest wide. All right, ease on out. Let's finish up a little puppy pose. So you can use the roll. If you don't have a roll, you can just slide your hands on the floor. So you can have your palms down or thumbs up. Sometimes thumbs up is better if your shoulders feel pinchy. Palms down is certainly easier to contact the roll. So you're gonna walk it out until you feel like your hips are sort of over your knees and your shoulders are still in control, strength-wise. Give me a little bit of a hollow core, and then push your chest forward towards the roll into more of a back arch. And then hollow back in. Keep your core tight. Push your chest forward. This should feel very comfortable in your shoulders. No pinching, nothing bad happening. And then hollow back in. Press forward. So you can always make it a little bit smaller and more narrow so you have less weight on your arms if the shoulders aren't happy about that. So you can always come way back here to do it or just do it on the ground. The foam roll gives an extra challenge though. All right, let's go to your best one here, wherever that is. Just pause and breathe. 2 more breaths. As you finish up, use your core to pull your ribs into your body, find that hollow body, and pull yourself back in. So with those arms overhead, how does it feel? Be a big T stretch, open your chest, squeeze those shoulder blades back, and puff up through your collarbone like you're at the front of the Titanic. All right, guys, thanks for coming today to Mobility. We'll do it again next week.